I set this one up for for YouTube, but I did, or not YouTube, Instagram, but I did go ahead and let my lovely, lovely folks on Salute know that it's Monday and I was gonna pop on for a nice pop-up meditation. So here we are. I hope everyone is doing good. Had quite the eventful weekend. What am I doing here? I'm always doing stuff that I'm supposed to be. There we go. Okay. I don't know if that clocks out or what. Hi, how are you? So it is live meditation. So I don't know if anyone ever hears it's becoming more popular in the world's meditation Mondays. So I'm going to talk about a few different things really quick. But before going to meditation, we have a little quick discussion. Actually, let's do the discussion first. So I don't know whichever one is floating first. So there are lots of meditations. Actually, while I get this set up, we'll do that. There are lots and lots of meditations that are out there in the world that are meditations that a person can do depending on the goal of what their outcome, what their connection is, what is there a goal at all? What are they looking to feel or not feel, to let go, to turn in, allow to overcome. There's lots of reasons, many reasons for meditation, and it could be to let go of something, to calm the body, to connect with energy, connect with the universe. And there are many ways to also to do meditation. I don't want to say really complete. There was a really good talk earlier that mentioned how yoga has changed, and it's always doing something, and in meditation it's usually the undoing, the not doing. And there's even though there can be an outcome, there may not be a destination place. So you may not have, you might have a reasoning for it, but there's really no destination in that meditation. It's kind of whatever comes. It's letting go of thoughts and first person things. So you don't really have a destination for meditation, right? Unless you are maybe working on a timed thing. Some people like to focus on gaining meditation with time. So that's a little different though. And it's very interesting though. But today's focus is going to be on So OM is to be known as the sacred sound, considered by many ancient philosophical texts and people and times to be the sound of the universe. And I have come across that sometimes people feel nervous at the thought of which can sound like a hum, like a HUM, but OM. And it can also be called a pranava or pranayava, depending on who's saying it, and can be considered as an unlimited or eternal sound. But it's still something that is sacred and spiritual and connects with the universe, connects with the energies. And so we're going to practice that just for a little bit today. Just taking a few moments. There's really no time limit on it. But it's also nice to give some background information on the sound, which is 5 things to also know, which some of them I have mentioned, being the sound of the universe. And the reason that we may meditate with it is that it can impact one's physical, emotional, or mental state. And by chanting or aligning with frequency is a very popular term that is spoken now. And it can give a focus point towards spiritual realization. And symbolism, can be interesting. I don't really know anything with the symbolism of except for going into an unconscious state. And I guess with this one, they're talking about the information I have is mentioning more of a symbolism of usually aligns with the crescent shape, which you could get into the moon or a state of reality, a combination of curves or crescent, which is interesting in its own. And by chanting it says that symbolism can transcend the three curves that you would see in like the symbol of to the material consciousness and closeness with alignment. Universal access, as I mentioned before. And really, with chanting as in some say hum, there, just as in physical yoga practice, there may be a little bit of difference in how we speak or say based on our accent or lineage and culture and things. But no matter how you physically say it, or if you don't at all, you could just be connecting with it in your mind. That's still meditation. You're meditating on it. So we're just going to do a few. It's not going to be a very long one tonight, but this is something that after the last one, I'll allow for some silence. And I will start it with the ting of my bells. And then after that silence, we'll be allowed to know that that's the end, at least with me. But if you feel as if you still need more or less, do so. And then we'll get a little bit more into the cacao discussion. So this is something you can do. I would say you're aligning with your vibration, with your vocal cords, with your physical throat and whatnot. So you may want to maybe be seated or standing or up, just in good alignment and good posture. You could have the hands in whichever mudra or stance that works for you. If you want a little grounding, you could have palms connected down to floor or legs, or connect with that universe. Palms facing up. There are mudras to connect with self. So many hand mudras there, or you could connect with heart and belly. So really connect with prayer, connect with what works for you. You can have the eyes closed if it helps to find a little bit of comfort. I tend to do that quite a bit. It's becoming a just natural thing. And you can follow along, or you are more than welcome to do it at your own pace and sound and vibration and voice. So we shall get started. Settle in, connect with the breath. More. Take any little last breaths, ohms, or moments that you need. And take a nice deep inhalation. Hold it for just a moment, as long as you can. And when you're ready, let go. Connect with your body, your vision. Welcome gentle movements back into body. Take either deep breaths that you may need, or if you would still like to stay connected with your own, feel free to take this time now to disconnect from me, to continue with your own meditation and moments of silence. Otherwise, may you welcome yourself back to this time and space. And now, let's just take a moment to switch gears now that we've come into connection. If you have stayed with me, to talk about cacao. The photo for this video is the cacao pod that I shared in the gift of opening with my father today, and we tried it. Quite sweet and delicious pulp on the outside with this bitter cocoa on the inside. It was wonderful, and my dad took such a big amount, and it was kind of comical, but it was beautiful to be able to share that with him as that gift is shared from the earth. And I talk about cacao, and I've mentioned it and posted things about it, and so many others have done the same. And cacao is where we get our chocolate first. I would like to say processed into the chocolate that you see in candy bars and hot cocos and things by Nestle. And but luckily, after in past times, after people discovered it and started turning it into chocolate, in more recent times, people have been working to not just process the cacao into chocolate, but really connect with its roots, find sustainable ways, sustainable practices to share cacao and teach, how to go from using it from everyday life to celebrations. And in olden times, the cacao tree, and it originated in the Amazon and Brazil and Colombia and Peru. And today it is found really in anywhere tropical, or you can go online and buy a cacao plant, like so many other things and so many plants, tea tree plants and all these things. Um, but it's interesting because even though you can find a lot online where it talks about, such and such, just, where it's grown now and where you can find it, and that a lot of it is grown on small family farms, there are still commercial plantations out there that are not always truly there to grow and share and celebrate cacao itself, but are there just to share in the economics and the financial standpoints of growing cacao, and then just processing it for cake and cocoa and sweets. And yes, I'm a person who grew up, and like anyone else, you don't know, you grow up, you eat these things, you try these foods, you don't have any knowledge until you get older, and you can start to discover things on your own unless your family or someone else is there to share them with you. So I always say, and I won't hold it too deep in conversation, but a lot of cacao plantations and things have a mix and discussion around child labor and child labor laws, or slavery, and other things that are not so positive, that go into even people in the wellness community, people who do cacao ceremonies. They don't maybe understand or even realize that even the cacao, where it comes from, you really have to look into and do research to figure out where you're getting and sourcing your item from. If you're not growing it on your own, or you're not on a family farm or something, you may just see a deal. It's kind of expensive. Let me check out this sale. And then you get it, and you don't realize where it's coming from. So I happen to be so excited and thankful to come across a cacao pod and share it, as I mentioned earlier, with my family, my father, and try it, and to craft my own goods from it, to then celebrate and share in the way to connect and align with the earth, as cacao in liquid and hot liquid form, or warmed liquid form, or drinking form, was known as, and in still some parts is known as, to be connected directly to the earth, to Mother Earth, to Gaia and Pachamama. And it's so wonderful to be able to celebrate in that and do the works, to know that even though things are highlighted that may not show such positive vibration, there is lots of positive vibrations still out there, and there are those cultivating and doing good works with the earth and nature and the environment and protection of it and Mother Earth and cacao. So take the time to look those things up. I am excited because there is a cacao ceremony that I will be doing. I invite you to join me. I am deciding that we will celebrate live, but also virtual. So I am excited to share this journey with you. That will be scary to say, but I believe that's already going to be next week, I believe, which is like, wow, getting to the end of the human year, the calendar year that we have today. But I do say, I have the pods here with me, and I will show them. So you'll have to excuse the shakiness in the camera. I am drying them out so that I can then have them. And let's see if I can get them. So I have it tied because I'm hanging it so that it can dry. There are many ways you can dehydrate them, but I just go to the old-fashioned, hanging plants and things to dehydrate or dry out in the air and pick up the frequency and vibration and sense of nature and what's around it. And this room has plants and not too much in it. So it'll be fun to have that dehydrating and to be able to have those to share. The cacao pods, I am going to post, I'll post a short clip on YouTube, but also on Instagram of the cutting and sharing and the opening of the cacao pods. But if you have not already, definitely go ahead and connect with me, or maybe I'll put some stuff in the link so that this is no cost to you. I do these cacao ceremonies every once in a while for when celebration is called out. So we'll be doing one soon on, I believe that's Thursday, December 16th. I invite you. It will be live and virtual. So if you're not in the place where I am having the celebration, you can still join me virtually. So thank you today for joining me for Meditation Monday. And if you are still with me and you are connected, if you have any questions, of course, about anything, please feel free to connect with me at any time. And I am wishing you a much wonderful rest of your days and nights and week, and connect soon.